Yes, it's a very significant development coming in. In fact, it's a clarification what we are learning from our sources in the finance ministry that the government is not considering any structural changes in capital gains tax. A very significant development, especially in the context of some certain rumors circulating in the market that the government may undertake some structural changes in the capital gains tax. No, it's not happening. Sources are indicating that the structural changes unlikely in capital gain tax for individuals and HNIs. In fact, government will preserve the basic framework of long-term and short-term capital gains tax. And of course, the process is on when it comes to undertake some simplification process related to Income Tax Act. As you are aware that the Finance Minister had made an announcement in the last budget to undertake amendments in the Income Tax Act, and that was primarily related with, process simplification, language simplification, removal of redundant acts. Draft is ready. We are expecting that the Finance Minister may announce the draft act in the upcoming budget, which could be introduced later in the Parliament. So these are the basic information that we are learning from our sources. Sources are completely denying any such development happening in the government to make structural changes in the capital gains tax framework. Of course, a lot of options are available for the government, but the government will not tweak or tinker the basic structure that will preserve the capital gains tax structure as of now. And of course, what is happening at this point of time is only amendments to the Income Tax Act in order to simplify the process, language, and removal of redundant acts. Back to you.
So Prakash, let's spend some time dissecting this story. There was a rumor and a buzz in the market that the definition of short term and the long term would be changed, and it would come as per the appropriate existing tax slab. What your sources, and these are very senior sources, are telling you that there is no plan whatsoever. So capital gains tax will continue, and it will be parallel to what the current income tax structure is. That's part one of the story, Prakash. Second story, Prakash, what you are saying is that it is highly unlikely that the LTCG, which is called as long-term capital gains tax, and STCG, which is called as short-term capital gain tax, where the rates were increased in the budget, and this time the government had given a budget after they got elected, that rate is also unlikely to be changed. So Prakash, am I interpreting the story in the right manner, the 2 points I just mentioned?
Yeah, of course. And when it comes to long-term capital gains tax, there were some representations which have been made by the industry, especially when there were, pre-budget consultations with the finance minister, where representatives from the real estate sector have representatives have made their request to the finance minister to come out some sort of clarification when it comes to long-term capital gains tax, just in order to give sort of confidence to the real estate investors. Other than that, there is no such proposal or discussion happening at this point of time to make structural changes in the capital gains tax structure. The basic framework will be preserved, what sources are informing, and the government will move ahead with the simplification process if required, but the basic structure will be intact, will be preserved.
Prakash, I go back to that point again. Vikas Khemani is happy to hear this story. Sunil Subramaniam is just ready to come on air, but I want to go back to that point again, Prakash. I know I'm sounding repetitive, but this is crucial, important. It could have an impact on all the buzz which was there in the market. What you're confirming to us is that your sources have told us that there would be a simplification in the Income Tax Act. But that simplification does not mean that the parallel structures which currently exist, which everyone has said that gold has a different tax rate, equity is a different tax rate, that simplification is not going to be merging everything. And again, Prakash, what your sources are telling you that the income tax, LTCG and STG rate is also not going to be tinkered. That second part is important, Prakash.
Yes, going by the finance minister's announcement in the last budget, where it was clearly stated that the government is intending to make some amendments in the Income Tax Act, and that is primarily with regard to having simplification of the current procedures, process, language simplification, removal of redundant rules. It was not linked with the major overall when it comes to policy or rates. It was clearly stated by the Finance Minister, and it was duly clarified by the Finance Secretary and Revenue Secretary after that. So the government is not moving ahead with the complete overall when it comes to policy or rates. It's moving ahead with the process simplification as per the draft rule which was prepared by the Finance Ministry and likely to be presented during the budget session. Associates also indicating that there is no such proposal to make complete structural changes in the capital gains tax. In fact, of course, government may like to simplify process or provide some clarification if needed for the industry when it comes to long-term capital gain tax. But any such proposal to completely revamp the taxation structure or tinkering in the framework is not on the card.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.